Hi, I'm Daniel.
And I'm Nina, and this is The Spark, where we give you the spark to light the fuse on hot topics in the news. We have a few things we want to talk to you about today. One of them is, why should Canadians even vote in the federal election? It was something that we were actually just talking about by ourselves.
Yeah.
In 2011, only 60% of eligible Canadian voters voted, and only 50% between the age of 18 and 24, which is my age. And we were talking about why young people don't vote. Doesn't make sense.
Why is that? Why don't young people vote? What do you think it is, Nina?
Well, I didn't vote when I was voting age. I think 18 is the first age when you're supposed to vote. And then, so I'm 23. I think from 18 to like 22, I didn't care about voting. I think it was because I was provided for by my parents. I didn't need to worry about like taxes and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, it doesn't matter to me. But doesn't it?
Well, you know what? I'll be honest with you. When I was 20-something, I didn't think about it either. Voting, I always thought all the politicians were corrupt. There was no right or wrong. But I think a lot of it, though, comes down to realizing, as you know, the older you get and you start paying taxes, you start realizing that whatever the government does, either on a federal or a provincial level, it affects how much money you make, how much taxes you pay. All those factors start coming in. I think that's when you start realizing, you know what? I got to start voting. I got to start looking into the issues and what the government's doing with the money and what they're doing for the economy as well. Also issues that matter to me. Like, you know, I think everybody has a voice. We all have opinions. We all believe in something, either through faith, religion, whatever that might be. And we need to let the government know, you know what, these values are important to me. You know, I think Canadians, we all have values and we want to stand up for those. We also want to stand up for what Canada's doing internationally, what's going on in the world. I mean, you look at ISIS, what they're doing. They're killing people. You know, are we going to stand up and do something about it? Or are we going to sit back? And you have to know these issues, and you got to know your government that's in power will deal with those things. Either they will deal with it or they won't. And it's so important for young people to realize they have the power to vote in people that will stand for injustice. And that's what the government's there to do.
Even if stuff isn't important to you right now, like from the ages of 18 to 24, you're going to regret not voting when you're in your older ages and you have to start paying taxes and you have to get a job and you have to be paid for stuff.
You know what? And that's the one thing I think a lot of kids, even those that are in university, those that are young, they forget that whatever you do now has years and years in implications. So whatever the government does now will affect you 10 years down the road. So if you're in university now, when you're getting a job and the economy is either going to be in a rough state or in a good state, it's going to affect you because it's either going to give you jobs or ain't going to give you jobs. Or maybe the jobs that you're looking into now might not exist in 10 years. So you might waste all that time in university for nothing. And that's the things that I think young people need to realize is that, you know, who you vote in now will affect you in 10 years down the road.
Yeah, don't vote because we were talking about this too. People are voting because they don't want to see, they don't want a different government, they don't want a different government, or they don't want a change, or they want to see change or something like that. They're like, yeah, I want to see a change. They're sick of, this is what it was. They're like, I'm sick of seeing the same person in power over and over again, so I'm going to vote for someone else. That's not an informed vote. Like, figure out what they actually believe in. Mm-hmm. Figure out what their things are. There's a great app out there. I'll leave a link for that in the comment below as well. It's called Pollinize, and it just lists all the things that each party believes in and what they stand for. So if you want to check that out, that'd be a really good idea for you because it just gives you a little breakdown of everything that you need to vote with. So get informed, vote, don't be lazy, okay?
Yeah, and it's coming up fast. I mean, we're into the last 2 weeks of the election. This is where everything's getting intensified. I think early voting starts on October 9th to the 12th, or to Monday, from Friday to Monday. You guys can vote early. Once again, though, get your info. Please don't vote just for the sake of kicking someone out because you're tired of seeing them in power. That's no reason to do it. Do it because you believe in what the party stands for.
That's right.
Not because someone tells you to do it, but because they're close to your values. So get to know your party. Get to know the person, your MP. Give them a call and say, what do you guys stand for on the issues that matter to you? All right, so if you have a value and you believe in something, then you got to know, does that belief stand weight with your party? And you got to get that information out there. That just came on the news recently was the Trans-Pacific trade agreement that the Conservative government just came through, which opens up a global market.
Well, I was looking at this article on the Globe and Mail that we'll actually leave the link for in the description below, and was talking about how Canadian consumers are going to be benefiting from this. We're actually going to be paying less for things that we pay the most for, like vehicles and goods. And we benefit from it. And not only that, but Canadian exporters actually benefit because they're outweighing the competition from non-TPP countries when they get involved with this. So this is actually really good for everyone. And I mean, the job thing is like small possibility, and they kind of like outweighed it in this article. So make sure you're reading it with a little bit of discretion. But it was just like really interesting that I didn't even know anything about this stuff. And once again, 20-somethings probably don't know anything about this stuff.
But you guys should know. And you should know. You know why you should know? Because
Yeah.
this is going to affect the job market 10 years down the road, 10, 15 years down the road. It's going to look different. The consumer market's going to look different. Everything's going to change. Now, you also got to know why it's affected now, because if you look at who's supporting this trade deal, because at the end of the day, yes, they come to an agreement. They said, yes, we're on, but it still has to pass through it still has to go through the legislation, and the next government has to vote it in. So right now, if you look at the parties are saying yes to it and the parties saying no to it, I know the NDP, Mulcair, has said no because he believes it's going to lose jobs. He doesn't agree with it. The Liberals agree with it. They support the deal, but they're also saying that the Conservative government was kind of sneaky about it, But the Conservative government has said yes to it. They're all in for it. They think it's a great thing for Canada. It's going to move us forward. It's going to make us more global. It's going to make us our economy grow in new ways. So again, this is coming now. So whoever you elect in now is going to affect what happens to this trade deal. Either it's going to go through, or the next government's going to stop it, and it's never going to happen.
Yeah, and like I was thinking about it because I was looking at this article in the Globe and Mail is actually really good. If you have a chance, read through it. There's videos if you don't like reading, which I don't like reading. It was really cool because they were talking about just the different perspectives in each government, and the Conservative government is actually saying that like Harper actually even mentioned like, oh, you know what, the auto industry, like they might not like everything the deal entails, probably because of the jobs and stuff. So I don't understand why the Liberals think that they're being secretive, because they actually mentioned something that they shouldn't have. But yeah, I just think it's interesting. That was like kind of a little bit of sidebar. But just make sure that you're paying attention to which government party is doing what is most beneficial for the economy. Because I know I talk to tons of people every day, and people are getting into jobs with trades. I see people in schools for like apprenticeships, for farming, for mechanical stuff. And good luck trying to find a job if this doesn't go through, because stuff like that is going to be so much easier if that industry is growing. So make sure you're paying attention and reading up on stuff like this, especially 20-somethings. Come on, guys.
Yeah. Here at the Spark, we want to know your comments and what you think about this whole trade deal. Do you agree with it? You don't agree with it? If you have a voice on this, just leave us a comment in the link below. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to have a conversation even start on this. It is an important deal. I think either if it goes right, if it does go through or doesn't go through, it will affect Canada. It's either going to make us more global or it won't. Again, you guys look it up. I will put some some links into articles and things like that you can look into that kind of break it down for you. There's videos of economics talking about it. There's enough stuff out there to really know what this trade deal is going to do and what it's not going to do. And again, you guys have the power to vote. So get informed, get out there and vote. Now, the other issue that has come up recently in the election is the Niqab. The citizenship ceremony. Should Niqab be worn during its Canadian citizenship ceremony? The Conservative government made it very loud and clear that they will look at that again. I know the Supreme Court, they have allowed it, but the Conservative government is saying they don't believe it's right, that they should be wearing a Niqab during the Canadian citizenship ceremony. They think your face should be revealed. You guys should get to know who the person is.
Well, I was reading this article that we will post a link to in the description below. And it was talking about how like there was a survey done where they asked a simple question: do you support or oppose a requirement that people show their face during Canadian citizenship ceremonies? Simple question. It has nothing to do with the Niqab. It was just, what do you think? Do you think we should show our faces during citizenship ceremonies? 82% of those people surveyed supported that requirement. Only 15% opposed and 4% didn't know or refused to answer. So I was thinking, like, if 82% of people like want your face to be shown during a ceremony, like for citizenship, I really think that's a huge majority. I don't understand why this is even being like disputed.
And I think a lot of Canadians realize that, you know what, when I go get like my driver's license or even my health card, they don't even allow you to wear glasses. or you can't even wear a hat. You can't cover your face.
They make me take off my makeup.
Right? So, I mean, like realistically though, I mean, if you need a driver's license with your face on it, I don't see a reason why you should be covering your face up.
I was actually going to read one of these quotes that was here. It says, other participants felt that this was the first and foremost value-based issue. To them, this was about new immigrants embracing Canadian values and being welcomed as new citizens. Removing their niqab or burqa was the normal thing to do in Canada, and therefore, the Canadian government was right in issuing this direction about showing their faces. It makes sense. They're coming to Canada for citizenship. We're welcoming them into our country, so, I mean, there's certain little things that we ask for. We don't ask for a lot.
And be honest though, like if you ever traveled abroad, if you ever gone to a Muslim country and you're a woman, they ask you to cover up your legs. You can't walk around with jeans.
Well, actually,
jeans,
in Saudi Arabia, when my family actually went to Saudi Arabia, they asked us to wear burqas when we got off the in the airport. So, I mean, if that's being asked of us when we go there, I don't see why we can't ask to simply show your face during a citizenship ceremony. It's not even like we're asking you to stop wearing your hijab.
Yeah. And again, it just comes down to, again, Canadian values. I mean, this is our opinion. We would like to know your opinion.
Of course.
Once again, I mean, what do you think about this? If you've read about it, are you for it? Are you against it? Do you think the Conservative Party is right about it, wrong about it? Let us know in the comments below, and we'd love to know what you guys think about this. And once again, guys, thank you for joining us on The Spark. I know we've got some great topics today. We hope that this will spark your conversations with your friends. And most importantly, like we said all throughout this show, get out there and vote. It's so important, guys. Don't miss this opportunity, because if you don't do it now, you're going to regret it down the road, and you got 4 more years before you can vote again. All right, so make it count.
Get informed, especially young people. Read up on your stuff. Pollenize is a great app, like I said. Check it out if you don't have a lot of time. It's got like little blurbs. You don't have to read a lot. So check it out. We really encourage you. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
And one last thing, don't forget to like this video and share it.
Right.
And post it, and again, continue sparking the conversations with everyone that you know, and get the word out there. Peace.